Welcome to my podcast, courtesy of Kidani Media. And this is Michael Oduol, aka Mzee Mzima. And today with me, I have a guest, and she's going to introduce herself and tell us who she is. Karibu.
Thank you. Okay, my name is Nora Maingi, aka Sierra. Yeah, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you for hosting me.
Sierra, do you have a meaning for Sierra?
Yes, Sierra means mountaintop or peak, and it's my business name.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
what kind of business do you do?
Okay, I run a cloth line.
Uh-huh.
Right now, I'm also trying to get into social media influencing and a few of other things that I do online. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Nora, looking at you,
Mm-hmm.
I see a GNC, right?
Yes. Certainly.
What is all about this GNC?
Actually, it's okay. There's for one, you know about the movement, Gen Z movement, that came about as an activist movement in Kenya. And it is not really Gen Z is not really because of the movement. It has been a generation just like millennials and Gen X, but then just because it is the youth who are in between the gap of 27 years and I think 12 years now, those are the ones who like elevated the movement. Now that's why the movement ended up being called Gen Z movement. But at the same time, if you look at the statistics of even those who went out to protest, we had millennials there. We had people's mothers and dads there. So those people, you cannot tell me they are all between that age gap. But because the bigger generation, the bigger number was the ones in between that age gap. That's why it came out as a Gen Z movement. But it's not like it's a it's a really special. It's just a generation like any other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Before I get to our main topic of today, something was trending few days, a few weeks ago, that personally you in particular had the audacity to tell the employer that, look, today I'm not coming to work because I am going to the street.
Yeah.
Is it true that
Yes.
you did so?
Yes.
What triggered that kind of, you see, it's not easy for me personally to just approach my employer that, tomorrow I'm not reporting to work. I'm going to the street to fight for myself and to fight for you.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
It needs courage.
Yeah.
What really triggered that?
Okay. For the longest time, I think I've been loud, but in the blankets. Like I really want to get my voice out there, but I'm still, I'm like, oh, am I going to do it? But then when Gen Z came around, and I got I got like that strength of, there are people who are speaking in my language. There are people who are approaching issues from my point of view. So what about now that there's something that is actually triggering all of us? Why don't I join in? And again, I've also been a very big supporter of good governance, of transparency and honesty, and I've been okay, I'm an accountant profession.
profession,
And so accountability is something that I hold with very high regard.
It's in you,
Yeah, it's in me.
your DNA.
Yeah. And then this government is like proving to be something else that we cannot understand. And I'm like, I'm in these spaces, I'm in the environment where people are talking about what we want as a nation, as for our future generations. And also again, I experience it firsthand, because even when I look at my payslip, I'm like, hey, this is too much. You know, I have a big pay, but then I
You
look at
ended
what
up,
I'm getting.
taking a
I'm like,
meager.
really? Is this it? Is this it? You know, and then also again the point where the government is trying to manipulate its citizens really gets to me. And growing up, I was brought up in a very abusive environment. And when I look at what the government is doing to the citizens, I relate directly, because they are using manipulative tactics, they are using force, they are using, you know, it is what I do, utadu, you know, it is what I'm going to do. What will you do? What choice do you have? And this really triggered me, and I was like, if my fellow, you know, youth are coming out, let me come out also. Let me air my voice. I don't want to be the one who will say I participated in change, yet I did not participate. I want to be a participant fully, so that when revolution comes, I also count myself. When I'm telling my children the story of how we got a new Kenya, I'm telling them of a story that I participated in. And it is the same thing I would want them to do. It is what I would want them to stand for.
So it's like you own that story
Yes,
as well.
so I own the story. So me telling my boss that I will not be reporting to work, I would be going to the streets, was number one. I was very scared. It was I was very skeptical about it. But when I got, you know, that motivation and the strength to, like, you know, we can do this, we can do it together. And what we need, if we have to do this, we have to do it all together. We have to come together.
What is it like? The perception, the opinion of your boss concerning the matter. How did your boss take the issue, you absenting yourself just to go to the street? How was it like?
Okay, I don't know the bigger part of it, but the message I sent to her was, hello, boss. I would like to inform you that tomorrow I will not be reporting to the office. I will be joining my fellow protesters in the streets. God willing, I will see you on Wednesday. And I ended my case there. And I remember I sent the message at around midnight. And in the morning, what she told me was, okay, Nora, all the best. I was like, even her, she's scared. Number one, that was the first thing I noticed. She was also scared, the way I was scared. Because when I left my house to go to the streets, I was like, I might come back to this house or I might not. So I'm going to do it the way I can, the best way I can.
So in the event during the day, did she make a follow-up of like, are you okay? Is everything okay?
Not directly, but I had my colleague called. At some point, I called her because a client had called my phone. And then later on, she called again to confirm. Are you okay? How was it? How did you? How is it? How is everything? Are you fine?
Okay.
Yeah, like
That's
there was
being
a follow.
concern.
Yeah, the concern was there, and from what I related is that as much as them also they are pressed, they would want to be there, but then there is the
Not
scare.
everyone could.
Not everyone
come
could come out.
But now,
And I feel like I also made the company proud to some
you
extent.
represented the
I
company.
represented the company as much as I was representing the Kenyans in general.
Well, just before we get into our topic, the revolution going on is all about Gen Z. Do you have a feeling that others like
Millennials.
millennials X generation, do you guys feel that they also gave the support that you needed to the brim 100% or the better percentage?
For what I know, as for millennials, they are in full force. Those ones I'm very sure. But Gen X, they're still struggling with the ideologies of, aki watoto wetu watauliwa kwa streets and such things. So they're like, we just let them go for their term, and when they finish, then we can go back to the ballot. So as for X generation, I can say there are those who are supporting us. There are those who are like, mi sitaki mtoto wangu aende kwa streets. But for the millennials, they have also said enough is enough. They also want that change. They want a new Kenya. Because, again, when we look at the generations in terms of education, you can see from where millennials are, that is where systems of education started being elevated. So our parents did not have that much of exposure to the education that we are now exposed to. And they were not so much into studies and things to do with change and governance. So to them, it was, we have a leader, okay, let's be led. But now we are looking at it from a point where we want accountability, we want transparency, we want systems that are working, we want good governance, not just people who are in the government to fill their stomachs and their families.
It's amazing that you see, you are speaking with a lot of passion.
Yeah.
Politically, because politics most of the time it is subjected to men thing, football and politics. Are you seeing yourself getting yourself into politics?
Well, I really hate politics, let me tell you that, but I love leadership. Leadership is in me. I've been a leader since I was born. Oh my God. Since I was in standard 2. Teachers could come to class and pick me out as, you are the class prefect, and there's no negotiation about that. And I would try to, teacher watani bully, and they would be like, no, akikubuli mlete kwangu. And since then, I've never lost my path. In high school, in primary, I was the head girl, standard 7, standard 8. In high school, I was a prefect in Form 1, a prefect in Form 2, a dining hall prefect in Form 3, a school deputy captain in Form 4.
Wow.
I went to campus. In campus, I didn't get the chance to be an overall school leader, but I was a leader of one of the clubs that are very key in KCA University, the Protocol Club. I was the finance secretary.
Wow.
So like leadership is in me
you.
And I am in leadership. We marry each other.
I really want to ask you one question which will lead us to our main topic.
Okay.
Are you single or married?
Well, I'm not married. Does that answer you?
You may expound.
I'm not married, but
I'm not single.
Well, I cannot say for now. I think I'm juggling in between whether I'm dating, whether I'm single. I'm just in between there.
Okay. During the protest, there was a narrative that was going on, which today I would like us to talk about how to cope up with or how to date a lady who is we call them
career
women or career ladies. How to date them, it's a hell of you see,
a hell of a ride.
well, you've said it. Now, during the protest, the Gen Zs, the millennials, the Protestants were saying they only hate chai moto ama uji moto, simu ikibaki 2%, and what else?
Ndoa.
and marriage
Yeah.
and kukosa data.
Yeah.
So it captured my attention. Why is it that the Gen Zs in particular, because you formed the around 60 or 60%.
60%.
Yeah. Why is it that the Gen Zs are afraid of getting married?
Okay.
Leave alone data na battery.
I think we were exposed to these things when we were younger, and then we are getting exposed, but then not for the right reasons. Our parents used to be married off when they're 15 years. Those parents are the ones who are now saying mtoto wangu aezi olewa akiwa 15, ataolewa akiwa 15 na ako form 1. So it is within the same period that they used to be married as we are still in school. We're still getting we are still studying, So, but then the body is active, and those things, there's nothing that would bring a change in the human biology in anything, in any way. So it is still going to react how it reacted for them. We are still going to be adolescent at 12, just the way they used to be.
The organs are maturing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just that the times have changed in dynamics, but the body is still the same. The mind still grows in the same way, and everything. So we get the exposure to have a boyfriend. Then they used to get the exposure of, you are getting married off, you are having a husband now. You give birth to now you go with your husband, you get a family. As you're getting this exposure, but you're getting a boyfriend, you're getting someone that you feel mutually attracted to each other. But then you start exploring, how does this taste, and at some point we get the emotional exposure becomes too much, that by the time I'm 22, I've already had like 4 boyfriends. Or even more. And I've slept with maybe 3 of them. And that exposure, there's a mixture of emotions. There's the physical involvement. There's mental involvement. And remember, it's not like it's something you're committing to a lifetime. So you're just trying things out.
Maybe to help us understand, because who are these career ladies or career women? What is the definition of this?
Okay, according to me,
and do we have a specific age for some people to be called career ladies or women?
Okay, I know a career woman is someone, any lady who is looking at pursuing some goals in their career, in their profession, in their professional life. So it is not a specific endeavor for someone to like just say, okay, this is a career woman and this one is not a career woman. Any woman who is going into pursuing their career or their professional life could be defined as a career woman. There's no specific age, but any woman between the age of 20, in their 20s and in their 30s, where they're trying to, jiggle in between a career, establishing their career and starting a family, and also being there for their parents and their siblings. I think that is the age where most women or most people discover, I want this and I don't want this. So when someone gets to the age of like 26 and they're still not settled down, and when you ask them about their goals, they're like, I want to do this for me, I want to do this for my career, I want to do this, by this time I want to do this. If the professional part of it is the one they amplify the most, then it qualifies them fall in that gap of
Some-
in that,
so-
in
some
that
of
space
us-
of being a career woman.
Some of us may mistake,
Mm-hmm.
you know, be learned women,
Mm-hmm.
huh? Those who have
Yeah.
achieved the highest, you know, qualification in education to be career women. Is that true?
Well, you could be very learned. You could be very learned as a woman, but you started your family at 22. You know, you got married and then you went back to study. That doesn't leave you out of the space of being a career woman, and it also doesn't mean that you are entirely a career woman, because for one, you are doing both. You have a family, yeah, and you also have your career on the other side. So you have your career, so you are a career woman. But then from how we define it nowadays, it's like these women who are career women are the women who have not decided to settle down. They're just following up with their career. I think that is from the perspective of how we define it, yeah. But then it doesn't mean that if you're settled down and you still have your career going, it doesn't leave you out of the gap of being a career woman.
Wow. So nowadays we find it very difficult. Like now, the generation that is mostly affected are the generation millennials, the late millennials, and the early Gen Zs. Getting married to this professional career women has become a problem. Kindly advise us, how do we date this kind of people so that we can start a family, or how we can, you know, hold this family together and continue the process of marriage?
Well, myself, I'm a early Gen Z, approaching my late 20s. But I don't have a defined way of telling you how to date a career woman. But I know myself, I'm a bundle. That one I know. I know I will do what I want to the extent that I want to do it. Whether you like it as my
Now let
as
me
my man or not.
Let me make it simple for you. Let me make it
Yeah.
simple, very
Yeah.
simple for you.
Yeah.
You are now a career woman.
Yes.
How can I date you? Make me understand you. I want to date you.
That's a very hard exam you're giving me, but I'll try to explain to you how. Okay, from my own point of view, as a career woman, I am not looking for lovey-dovey. I'm not looking for a man who is going to borrow his friend's money so that he can take me out. I'm not looking for that. I can do that for myself. I'm not trying to get someone who will borrow his friend's bedsitter to take me there. That's below me. Yeah, those are gone are the days we used to do that to impress women. I'm looking for someone. Okay, I'm not looking, but if it
You're
were
waiting
me,
to be looked.
yeah. But then in my way of handling a relationship, I would not put flowers first. You as a man knows you're supposed to get me flowers, but don't get flowers as you struggle to get me flowers and so that you can impress me. That one, you will get me flowers today. Will you get me flowers for the rest of my life? Flowers I can buy for myself. Hapa CBD wanauza maua moja 30.
But you don't
I
feel
go
the
there.
touch of
No.
It has been given, receiving is
I
even
understand.
makes
I understand, but I don't want it to be like you're really struggling to get me a flower so that you can impress me.
But you always say mwanaume ni effort.
Any effort, yes. We want to see how far is your effort. Your effort cannot be kuomba
But
pesa.
how far is that far? If I want to impress you, I want
Okay.
you to own you, I want to
Okay.
to make you be mine.
All right.
To
Fine.
yeah.
So okay, kuna, of course, kila mwanamke akona limits zake. Every woman has their own limits, yeah. But then when, as a career woman now, if I'm approaching it from a point where I am a career woman, I'm not looking for lovey-dovey. That's what I'm trying to say. I will not be looking for lovey-dovey. I will be looking for commitment. I'll be looking for security. I'll be looking for a life partner. All spheres around. There's nothing like you come and tell me, wewe unajua nilikopa pesa juu yako. My friend, that is so out of proportion. You cannot be telling me that. You cannot. Don't you have your life together? I'm not trying to get someone mwenye nitaanza kulea. I don't want to be bringing up a man. I need someone who already knows their direction, who has their ambitions put together, who knows their next move and their next move after that move, who is intent, who is intentional, very intentional, who has the right set of mind, of the right set of mindset. Is it mind? The right mindset.
Mindset, yeah.
Yeah, the right mindset to approaching life. You see, career women, there's one thing about career women that I have experienced as a person. I would not date someone who feels intimidated when I say something yenye anafeel overpower. If I mention something and immediately you get defensive about it, it means you're already feeling intimidated. Maybe, for example, I mentioned something like, my cousin was asking me what you studied in school, and then you start saying, kwani you have to tell them what I studied? Kwani what I studied is not important? And things like that. That man is still lacking a definition into their life.
In most ladies are ladies.
Yeah.
And men we are also men.
Yeah.
A man knows what he wants.
Yeah.
And goes for it. But in most cases, ladies are there to wait to be approached.
Yes.
But in their mind, like mzee mzema, I'll say, okay, since I'm dark and skinny the way I am, I need a fine brown, almost mzungu.
Yes.
And I will be looking for that, and actually,
You'll get it.
you'll get.
Yeah.
At the same time, you realize most stories we get out here are tall, handsome, what? Can you put these, weke kwa mizani, versus the qualities that you earlier mentioned, like now the security and all that?
Personally, I used to be that kind of a woman. I would want tall, light, and handsome, because you can see my complexion, so I wanted my kids to, that was what I was imagining, that my kids should have a chocolate or
a blend.
a blend
of black and light.
Yeah. And then I got to a point where I was like, but I've dated someone who is light-skinned, and I still didn't feel like there was anything to it, I've dated someone who is tall, dark, and handsome, and I still didn't get what I was looking for. I have dated someone who is short and has money and has even cars, and they are very romantic, but I still didn't get what I was looking for.
The satisfaction is not there.
Yeah. There's always something that is missing. So later on,
now, did you identify what that which was missing?
Well, those are the things I've told you. Commitment, security, providence. Providence comes as, actually number one. The ability of a man to provide for the family is very key. Security in terms of you protect your family, and you also have that financial security. It's very important. As much as people say, unanioa juu ya do, it's not really juu ya do. We have our money. Me, I can go to the supermarket and get myself the biggest tin of ice cream. It's not really about money. I am saving to get myself the best things, So it's not really about the money. It's about the financial security. You're coming into my life to tie me down. Okay, we're going to tie each other down and start a family together. We cannot run that family with love only. We cannot not run that family with your mother's or your father's money. We need to have our own money.
But then, in this case,
So financial security.
you realize you are actually, you've seen a potential
Yeah.
guy, and then this guy, where uko na kazi, you are running, you know, you have a career that is very stable, huh? But then the guy that you saw mwenye aliku kujazz does not have work. That means hawezi kuprovide. This guy, kwa sababu hana kazi, the reasons why GNZs were on the street, hawezi kuafford ile nyumba ulikuwa nasema mpaka niende kwa rafiki yangu niombe ka bed sitter ni. You see, but you are working. Would you still date this kind of a person? Yet he has all these other qualities.
Let me tell you, I have tried that before. And for me, it's a very big no. I will not date
A broke guy.
a broke guy. I will not. I tell you that. I have seen it. I have experienced it firsthand. I used to, he would go to the Kibandaski and tell me, babe, I need to meet your 6U bob. I send. We would be meeting in town. He tells me, aya, babe, to my fare. I send fare. We go and meet. And mind you, at that time I was still in campus. So I was using my parents' money to finance my boyfriend, you know. And he was working. He was a DJ. So I cannot.
How is it that he was broke and yet he was working?
I have no idea. I do not understand.
Perhaps he was investing in some other things, but that you did not know.
I do not understand. Up to today, I don't know. I do not know. But for me, a broke guy is a no. Early in the morning, late in the night, it's a no. Okay, let me tell you. I think I'll approach that later when you, as the conversation goes by. Yeah.
So to you, it's a no for dating
A broke guy.
broke guy.
But I would notice realizable potential. I would notice that. And that means if you have the potential, it means there are already things you're working on. There are things that are tangible you're working on. You might be having a studio, but you don't have the microphones. You're just using your phone. You know, that is realizable potential. You might be having a small smoky place. You don't have a restaurant yet, but that is where you're heading. Realizable potential. Something tangible, something that I can hold on to.
How will you know this if you don't get yourself closer to this kind of a person so that you team up and work together in this journey? Because if all of us have that kind of a mindset, then it means after generation alpha, then we don't have a generation.
Because no one will give
Because
birth.
no one will give birth. No one is ready. No one
Yeah.
is ready to date a broke guy, or the guys will also turn. You know, it can be a give and take. These guys will also say, okay, I don't want to date a broke lady.
Yeah.
Now, where are we facing if this turns to be true?
Okay. Okay. Let me say this. A woman who is financing a man is a simp. Huyo ana simp mbaya sana. Uwezi kuwa tu unaamka na unamuita baba watoto and you're the one financing everything. We have seen women like that, and they've been left immediately. That man got another woman that he liked or something. There are those few cases that will survive, but not all of them. Some of them, they're just there to use you, and unless you're very careful, you will not utafika far. You will not make it. So there are those cases that will survive. honestly, there are those cases that you hear someone saying, by the me, my girlfriend would send me money and I would eat for 2 days, 3 days, and then I would look for something else to do. And eventually my company picked up and everything was okay, and now I'm a CEO. There was realizable potential there.
So-
there was something that was underway, but then there's just a guy who will be telling me ameenda kibarua, but then I never see any fruit out of it. He will never tell me, today nime invest kwa bonds, today I've sent something to Nairobi exchange. There is nothing completely. But this guy is always like, babe, I'm broke, send me this, do this for me, if you want us to meet, do this.
But men
Yeah.
generally, we have a lot on our heads, on our back. I'm attending to you. I have my mother. Perhaps I'm taking care of my siblings. Maybe I'm the firstborn. Dating firstborn is also an issue. You understand? So if you are dating this kind of a person who has got a lot of baggage, a lot of luggage on his back, and yet you are here, you have high expectations, do you think you can possibly blend and make a family in such a scenario?
Okay. Personally, me, if you're broke, it's a no-go zone. That one remains like that because I'm very scared of broke guys. But as much as the bar is raised very high, because now women have their money, yeah? So we are no longer looking for money. We are not looking for a man who has money so that they can marry us and make us housewives. I don't want that personally. So it's more than that.
Have you ever
It's more than
have-
just money.
have
But
you
then
ever
money is a factor.
help your man to celebrate his birthday? Have you ever financed?
No, I have never.
What is
I have never. I've never because for some reason. Okay, let me tell you the reason. I don't know. All the men I've been with, it's either enyewe niko na I have a bad dating history. It's either we meet after their birthday or we break up before their
before
birthday.
the birthday?
So I've the longest relationship I was in went for 1.5 years. But in the half, I was dating myself.
What do you mean?
In the half, the 1 year we were together, like from high school, we dated up to until we finished high school, and then we continued kidogo. So hiyo ndio the longest yenye nishaikuwa nayo, na hiyo sikuwa na anything yenye at least
Okay.
I could get the guy something or anything.
There is something just that I want to get out of you. wacha
But
niachie
I've
hapo.
bought them
But
presents.
but
I've
there-
bought them presents.
what is the most expensive present you've ever bought to a guy?
I've ever bought a guy a sneakers.
What?
Yeah, 3,800. Iliniuma, nilikuwa tu nafanya attachment. Nilikuwa nalipwa 10k, and out of my 10k nikaenda nikambaya sneakers.
Yeah,
And the
38,
guy left me the following week. It's that bad. You
And
see
the-
what we
so
as
the
career women go
No,
through.
no. The problem was the sneakers, or he left you together with the sneakers.
He went with the sneakers.
and
So it's like I bought him shoes to get out of the relationship, to just walk.
back to as we wind up.
Yeah.
What is it that men should actually do to ensure that the dating period, especially if I fall into the hands of these career ladies, what is it that I am expected to observe so that I don't, get into problems of dating and getting out? You know, what is it that men should do to conform to dating career ladies?
Okay, let me say this first. Men reveal themselves in efforts and action, not in their words. So anytime you approach a career woman and you are loud on words but very little in actions, you're definitely not going to make it with them. If the words have to come, they should be followed by action.
Okay.
I know we've watched a lot of movies as Gen Zs and millennials, movies that are romantic and all that, and we see all these things. But then again, when you bring it to the
real
ground, in real life, those are the same issues, they're just movies and these fictions, they mirror the real lives. So I will see a woman in a movie being treated nice, but at the same time they are being beaten, they are being misused, in other ways. But by the end of the day, analetewa flowers.
Okay.
So there is action, but action that is negative and action that is positive,
Okay.
both negative and positive. And this man will come and say, no, baby, I'm sorry, I did this out of anger and all that, you triggered me, and you do it again and again. Mimi, as a career woman, as a woman in the 21st century, I will not let myself go through that. I will pick your words for what you are. If you're doing one thing and saying another thing, I'm not too stupid to hold on to you. I will leave as early as I can.
Wow.
Some men will fight with their words. They will hug you and massage you in their actions. A man will abuse you emotionally. They will abuse you, not really physically. They will abuse you mentally. But then they will get you the latest. What is the latest car in town? V8? I don't know.
They are all there.
Yeah, they're all there. They will get you that. But the mental torture, the emotional torture is too much.
Okay.
Me again, as a woman who understands myself, who is aware of myself, will not stay in that relationship.
Well, my director is telling me time is is up. But then, just one question.
Yeah.
You have told us you cannot date a broke man.
Yeah.
Now, what is this dangerous thing about you? As we wind up, the most dangerous thing about you.
The most dangerous thing about me? That's tricky. That's really tricky. But what is really dangerous about me? Oh my goodness! I know I'm very short-tempered, and sometimes I can be. I don't know how to say it, but I know I can be a bundle sometimes. I will get mad and I will hold on to it until you bow down.
I think she has told us about how she feels. Please tell our viewers how do they find you, your social media and all that.
Okay, you can find me on X. I'm CFA Nora. CFA is my professional course. Yeah, so it's CFA Nora on X, Lady Nora Favored on TikTok, on YouTube, Lady Nora Favored, and on Facebook. No, Facebook it's fine. Yeah, so those three are my main channels of communication.
Wow. Thank you very much, Nora. It's been an amazing show, and we really thank you for coming. We are here, and we courtesy of Kidani Media, And you can find me on TikTok, Michael Odual, or Sibura Toya Terengenyi. On Facebook, Michael Odual. Please find me also on Instagram, the same. Until next time, thank you. It's been amazing.